We've reviewed the Hasty Bake Roughneck and the new Legacy 131 on the channel, and I was left with some questions after cooking on both units. Questions like, which one is better at a butt or brisket? What if I'm doing hot and fast chicken wings? Which one would I use? Can you actually grill on the Roughneck well enough that it beats the Legacy 131 in overall usability? Our review sparked a bunch of questions in my mind, and in this video, I'm going to answer them. I'm David Gafford, and here at the Barbecue Lab, we test and review over 100 different outdoor cooking and outdoor living products each year to help you make great decisions with your entertainment dollar. In this video, I'm going to help you know with certainty which one of these grills is better for you based on how you plan to use it and how you like to cook. First, a disclaimer. Hasty Bake doesn't know we're shooting this video. They did send us both of these grills to test out and work with here at the lab many months ago. There aren't any notes from Hasty Bake or talking points or subjects to avoid. What follows are my own thoughts and experiences, so if that type of content is for you, let's dive in. There are some obvious differences and similarities to these two cookers. The Roughneck is a drum-style cooker, and while most drums are round, the Roughneck is a rectangle. The firebox is located behind the lower front door, and it's on a tray that slides out for access to the coals and ash. There's no way to move the coals up or down in this grill. They just sit here on the bottom in this fire basket, and you control the heat by controlling how much charcoal is in the grill, how much of that coal is lit, and how much airflow you allow to pass through the grill. There are two levels where you can place your grates on the Roughneck, and you can use both simultaneously if you want, doubling the space that you have to cook on this grill. The Legacy 131 is also a rectangle, but it's not a drum-style cooker. This grill is more of a crank charcoal style grill, and you have control of how low or how high the coals are from the grate using the crank on the left side. You control the temperature of the Legacy model by the amount of charcoal, how much charcoal is lit, and how much air you allow to pass through the grill, and on this model, how close your charcoal bed is from the grate. There's obviously more cooking grate available on the Legacy on this single level, but the two levels of the Roughneck makes it harder to use this as a deciding factor on which one to buy. One thing I also want to mention is both of these grills have optional side and front shelf options. They don't come standard with the grill, but I have found them to be very helpful while working with these grills. In just a second, we're going to cook wings, butts, steaks, and more on these grills. But before we do, Hasty Bake has shared a discount code with us where you can save 10% on either of these grills when you order from the Hasty Bake website. Just use the code BBQLAB10 and you can get 10% off whichever one is right for you. The user experience on these grills is not the same, and we're going to cover that in detail as we walk through some of the head-to-head cooks that we did in comparison. Let's start by cooking a pork butt on both grills and see which was better. I'm starting the same kind of fire on each grill, putting a dab of fire starter gel in the back corner and letting just the corner light so it burns towards the front of the grill. I seasoned the pork with our Pork Protocol barbecue rub, and I designed this seasoning to take pork butts and ribs to new levels. It's amazing on pork, but I'm obviously biased, so you'll have to try it for yourself. The Legacy was set up as an indirect cook with the fire on the opposite side of the grill from the meat. The Roughneck is always direct, but with significant distance from the meat to the fire. The pork spent 5 hours in the smoke, and my opinion is that the Roughneck put a little more color on the meat, but it's almost too close to call. When it came to the taste test, the family agreed that the Roughneck pork tasted better, and I'm pretty sure it came down to the fat dripping onto the hot coals coming back up as seasoning for the cook. Up next, we put a batch of chicken wings on each grill to see which model we preferred for hot and fast indirect cooking. I seasoned some party wings with our feathered formula seasoning and put them on the grate the same way we set up the pork butts. The Legacy was set up indirect with the coals lit on the right and the chicken on the left, and the Roughneck was lit on the right-hand side with the chicken on the left as well, but it's mostly indirect due to the smaller size of the grate. I started the wings at 350 degrees and let them go for about 25 minutes before we flipped them to get some color on the other side. After a cook time of around 50 minutes, here's how the wings looked on the Legacy 131, and here's how the wings looked on the Roughneck smoker. To me, the wings are lighter on the Legacy model with better caramelization of the sugars on the Roughneck wings. The family agreed the Roughneck wings were the winners for them with chicken wings. In just a second, we're going to try some kebabs, steak, and more. But first, let me pass a question off to you. John, over in our comments, has pointed out that 4 to 5 years ago, I hadn't heard of Hasty Bake or ever seen one in person. It's an American brand that's been in business for decades, making grills in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but you won't find them in Walmart or Home Depot. Since the only way to buy one of these grills is to drive to Oklahoma or order them online and have them shipped to you, how do you feel about ordering a grill like this without ever laying hands on one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. The kids wanted some salmon for dinner the same day we were cooking the pork, so I took a side of salmon, cut it in half, seasoned it, and put it on each pit for dinner. I put the fish over the coals on the right-hand side of each grill, hoping to get a little separation from the skin with some direct heat. After around 40 minutes in the smoke, here's how they turned out. This one is the Roughneck, and this is the Legacy 131 salmon. I think there's better color on the Roughneck salmon, and there was a better flavor to us as well. My guess here is that the Roughneck had the pork dripping juices into the coals, which was also giving the salmon some pork vapors, which was just not happening on the Legacy model. Just a guess, but you let me know what you think the difference was in the comments below. Hey, by the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more content just like this on the best in outdoor cooking and outdoor living. A longtime friend of mine recently got engaged, and it was time for us to meet the other half. They asked to go out to a restaurant, and I said, well, I'm testing 2 grills if you're interested in being a part of the testing process. Night started with some bone-in ribeye steaks on each grill. I set the grills up so that the entire coal bed would be lit since we're grilling here. The Roughneck still has a bunch of room between the coals and the meat, so it's what I'll call indirectly direct for the first part of the cook. The Legacy, we're setting up 2-zone with an indirect side and a direct side for searing. Once the steaks hit an internal temperature of 113 degrees, I pulled them off to cool down while I tried to get the grills screaming hot. For the Legacy, that meant just raising the coal bed and adding a few more pieces of charcoal. On the Roughneck, I broke out the Loof Lighter 2 with its fan to stoke the fire. I dropped the grates down to the lowest position on the Roughneck and attempted a sear. After letting the steak get to 135 degrees internal, we still didn't have much of a sear on our Roughneck steak. On the Legacy 131, we put the steak right over the coals, and while I could have gotten the fire even hotter, there's a clear winner here. The Legacy is built to sear, while the Roughneck is built to smoke. Our guests brought with them some veggie kebabs to grill, and we added some olive oil and our essential equation rub and dropped the skewers on the grates. It's easy to work with the Legacy grates, and flipping the kebabs over was simple. The Roughneck, not so much. I needed to reach into the bottom grate position with my arm in the grill, and it's difficult to pick up a loaded skewer and get it flipped over. I struggled with these on the Roughneck, so it's an easy win for the Legacy when it came to oversized veggie kebabs. After the vegetables were done, we threw on some shrimp skewers to grill on each model. The shrimp were easier to work with than the vegetables, but still a challenge on the Roughneck lower position. The Legacy was just easy to grill on since you have control of the coal bed position at all times. Just crank it up for more sear and crank it down for more control. Shrimp were accomplished on both grills, but the Legacy made it easy. Cleaning is also another consideration for comparison, and both of these grills use charcoal for fuel, which means there's ash to manage after each cook. The best tip I can give you is to use a sheet of aluminum foil on the ash pan of the Legacy model. It protects the powder coating from high heat, and when it's time to clean, just lift up the foil and dump out the ash. It's one of the easiest ways to clean a charcoal grill that I've come across. The Roughneck charcoal basket, it has a stainless steel tray underneath that catches the ash, so cleaning this model means taking the charcoal basket off, shaking out the charcoal to drop all of the ash, setting the basket aside, and then dumping the tray into an ash bucket. I obviously need to upgrade my ash bucket for this because I just make a mess every time. Before I give you my final thoughts, I want to make sure that you're aware of our discounts and deals page on our website at thebarbecuelab.com. Just click on deals and discounts on the main page and you can see dozens of brands that have coupon codes available for you to save some money. You can find our code for 10% off a Hasty Bake purchase with the code BBQLab10 on the page, as well as in the description below. So if you're considering a purchase, you can save some money and support the channel. We love win-win scenarios. After more than 20 cooks on both of these grills, I'm ready to give you my thoughts on why you should buy one over the other. If you're into smoking more than grilling, it's obvious that the Roughneck is for you. With the design placing the meat directly over the coals, drippings are vaporized and rise back up to flavor the meat as it cooks. The Roughneck is a smoking machine, and it's been easy for me to control. While it's not a digital controller, it has been set it and forget it for me. I tend to fill the basket with charcoal and only light the back corner, letting the grill and the airflow decide when it needs to light more coal during the cook. I can run it between 200 and 375 degrees Fahrenheit with just subtle changes of the intake and exhaust vents. And once I set it where I want it, I find that it just stays there. From a capacity standpoint, one of the real advantages of the Roughneck is the rib hanging system. You can get one or two of these hangers that will do around 9 racks each, giving you incredible capacity in such a small footprint. I didn't need to do 15 to 20 racks of ribs in time for this video, but let me know if you want to see that, and I may just add that in for a future video. The Legacy 131, in my opinion, is a multitasker of a grill. It definitely grills and it has no problem smoking as well. There's more grilling surface on a single layer, and that makes it easy to set the Legacy up for indirect cooking. If I could only put one of these grills on my patio, it would be the Legacy 131 simply because of the versatility. If I already had a gas grill or a high heat grill of some type and I wanted to add something that can smoke meats in a small footprint, I would absolutely order the Roughneck to add to my toolbox. I really like cooking on the Roughneck, and if I want pellet grill simplicity with charcoal flavor, this is the grill I turn to right now. So, what did I miss in this review? What tests did you hope to see me run that I left out? I know you'll let me know down in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. I'm David Gafford with the Barbecue Lab. Behind the camera is my adorable wife, Melissa, who makes all of this possible. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.